morning, world. I am Judy, your web-based therapist, making therapy accessible and convenient for our clients in Florida and New York, and of course, sharing information worldwide. Today, I want to talk about 5 back-to-school tips for people with ADHD. We know that school has started in just about everywhere in the country right now. And for many people, this is going to be the first time that they will be back in a regular school setting. So I wanted to share some things that you can do to help ensure your success and to help with the transition back into regular school settings. The first thing is get organized early. A lot of times people have a tendency to, wing it or attempt to wing it and then realize that they're struggling. And that's when they start working or trying to figure out how to set up a plan, how to set up a system. Instead of waiting until you start to struggle, start early. Set up your system when you're doing homework, how you're doing homework, where you're doing whatever it is, whatever resources that you need to put in place to help you succeed. Put that in place early. Create a system. Get organized. Organizing your desk, organizing your workstation, organizing your backpack, organizing your notebook, whatever it is that you need to do. Get organized early. That way you have that system to help you throughout the school year instead of waiting until you have struggled and then start to fall behind. So as early as possible, get organized. 2, review and color code your syllabus. I recently found out that even elementary schools are now giving students syllabus. As soon as you get the syllabus, go through it, color code, and you can pick how you want to color code. Maybe you want to color code by month or by weeks or by project type. Whatever your color coding system is, start color coding things. Maybe you have all your stuff that's due in November will be a specific color. Maybe all your paper, you will have, purple will be November and you go from light purple to dark purple for everyday homework to, major paper. Whatever the system is that you have, create a color coding system that allows you to, at a glimpse, find out or learn or see what you have coming up. That way, you can get these quick reminders whenever you see that color, hey, I have this paper coming up, or hey, I have a project coming up. Just pick a color coding system that works for you and apply that. Making sure that you review your syllabus from the very beginning of the term until the end of the term or until the end of the semester. That way you have a pretty good idea of what the expectations are, as well as the things that you have coming up, so you can start setting that picture of the things that you have coming up. 3, schedule action steps. It's one thing to write down all your due dates. Okay, paper due November 13th, or you have a project due on October 15th. Those are great. However, there are steps, there are things that you need to do along the way to get you ready, to get you prepared for that major due date. So create or schedule action steps. For example, you have a paper that is due on November 15th. Okay, what steps do you need to take between now and November 15th in order to be ready to have the pieces of that paper ready? What steps do you need to take right now or in the coming weeks to get you ready for this major project that you have coming up on December 1st? Make sure that you're scheduling those action steps, because if you don't do that, when you finally look and you say, hey, December 1st, my major paper or my major project is due, but you haven't done the work all along. So make sure that you're scheduling action steps throughout the semester or throughout the weeks before the project is due, so that when you get to that due date, all you are really doing is putting final touches and putting the thing together, instead of at that time attempting to create a whole project or to write a whole paper on the final day, the last day before the paper is due. 4, ask for accommodations early. If you need accommodations, make sure that you're reaching out to professors, to school administrators, or whomever it is that you need to talk to. Make sure you're doing that early, because 1, it helps you have it right there and ready and available for you to use through the whole term. The other thing is that it sometimes when people wait until the last minute, or until maybe you miss the deadline, until you're struggling, until you're falling behind to ask for accommodations, sometimes people can be a little bit more reluctant because sometimes it can feel or it can seem like you're only asking for these accommodations because you're behind. You're only asking for these accommodations as an excuse or something. So ask early, that way whatever it is that needs to be done, they can do for you, and that they realize, no, this is not just you trying to get out of the work that you didn't do, but this is an actual accommodation that you need. And of course, more importantly, when you ask early, you get the accommodation early, and you can use them throughout the semester to get you through whatever the work is for the semester. Finally, check in and revisit with support systems and support tools that you have used before. Whether it's calendars that helped you be successful in the past, whether it is a support network that you have used, whether it's an accountability partner that you've used before, whatever resources that you had in the past that helped you be successful, make sure you check in and revisit those to make sure that they are available and that they are still able to do whatever it is that you asked of them. If you had an accountability partner that you used before, making sure that that accountability partner is still there and is still able and willing to do what they did for you the year before is important, because you may be thinking that they are going to do the same thing, and they're thinking, oh yeah, I did that last year, but that was just last year. So make sure that you check in with everything, if everyone and everything that you needed. If there was a resource that you used before, maybe you have some alarm that you were using before. Yes, check that alarm. Make sure it still works. Whatever worked in the past to help you succeed, make sure that those resources, those tools, those whatever they are still available and able to do whatever you use them for in the past. Okay, so let's do a quick recap. 1, get organized early, because that way you have the tools, you have the resources as early as possible, and you don't risk falling behind before you start, getting things together. 2, review and color code your syllabus, because it's really nice to know what's coming up and be prepared for what's coming up. And of course, color coding gives you a glimpse and gives you, little hints throughout the semester of, hey, you got this coming up. 3, schedule action steps, not just due dates, because it's more than just sitting that last day and doing the work. There are things that you can do throughout the semester, or should be doing throughout the semester, to get you ready. 4, ask for accommodations when if you need them, and ask for them early, because it's easier to get accommodations early instead of just waiting until you're behind and people start to think that it's just an excuse. And of course, you have the accommodations all year if you get them early. And finally, check in and revisit with support systems or support tools that you use. Whatever helped you succeed, whatever helped you do well in the past, make sure that those things, those resources, those support systems, those tools are still available and can still provide the assistance that they gave you in the past. That's it. As always, if you or someone you know happens to be going through something that's more than you can handle, please remember that there are professionals like myself who are available, able, and willing to help, and are even providing remote services who can assist with whatever you may have going on. So please figure out who those people are in your community, so that if you need them, you can reach out and get the help that you need. And that is all we have for today. Good morning, world. Have an awesome day.